بسم الله اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد. Hello my students, this is teacher Minna and our lesson today is arrays. Let's see together what is the meaning of arrays. Let's start our lesson together. Here my students, what is an array, teacher? Array means a set of objects arranged in rows and columns. How, teacher? Here, look at me in this picture, my students. Here I have some stars. These stars are arranged in rows. What is the meaning of rows, teacher? You call this row and this row. I have here row and row. What's this row, teacher? Rows go from right to left. Left and right, we call this row. What is the meaning of row? Row goes left and right, left and right. Like what, teacher? Like the row in the field or like the lines in your copybook. Okay, and here I have stars arranged in column. Column like what? We call this column in vertical way. Columns, okay? Here I have column and column and column and column. Okay, my students, look at me here. Look at me here, my students. Here I have this array and here I have column and column and column and column. So column, teacher, go up and down. Okay, the columns go up and down, up and down. Okay, what about rows, my students? Rows, teacher, go from left to right, left and right, my students. We call this row and here I have another row. Okay, so here how many rows I have? 1, 2. I have 2 rows. Okay, and how many columns here I have? How many columns, teacher? Just 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Okay, so again, my students, what is an array, teacher? Array means set of objects arranged in rows and columns. Rows and columns. Columns go up and down. Rows go left and right. Okay, rows like this row in the field. Columns like the tree go up. Okay, let's see together an exercise. Here, my students, who can tell me, my students, how many rows do you see, my students? How many rows do you see here? I said I have 2 rows. I have 1, 2. I have 2 rows, my students. Of what? How many stars in each row? Let's count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 2 rows of 4 stars. 2 rows of 4 stars. Okay. And here, how many columns I have here? How many columns? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 columns. How many stars in each column? 2. So I have 4 columns of 2 stars. Okay, let's see another exercise. Here, complete the following. Here, my students, how many rows? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 rows, my students. How many 1 in each row? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, my students, I have 4 rows of 4. Let's see another exercise. Here, how many rows? Count with me. 1, 2. So I have 2 rows. How many 1 in each row? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 2 rows of 7. Let's see another one. Here, how many rows? Count with me. 1, yes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, teacher. How many 1 in each row? In each row, I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 6 rows of 3. Another exercise. Here, how many column? Column, teacher, go up and down. So I have just 1 column. Okay. How many here in this column? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my students, I have 1 column of 5. Okay, let's see this exercise. Here, how many columns? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 columns. How many in each column? 1, 2, 3. So my students, 5 columns of 3. Another exercise here. How many columns? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. How many in each column? 1, 2, 3, 4. So my students, I have 4 columns of 4. Let's see another exercise. Here, my students, I will skip counting to find the total number of array. Skip counting to find the total number of array. What is the meaning of skip counting? Let's remember together. When I wanted to skip counting by 1, I will see this 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip counting by 1. If I wanted to skip counting by 2, I will say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. If I wanted to skip counting by 3, I have to say 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and so on. If I wanted to skip counting by 4, 8, 12, 16, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and so on. If I wanted to skip counting by 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. You have to keep it in your mind, my students. Okay? Let's see this exercise together. Here I have this array. Here, my students, if I ask you, my students, how many rows do you see here? Yes, 2 rows. 2 rows. In each row, how many smile face in each row? 1, 2, 3. So I'll skip counting by 3. Skip counting by 3. So I will say 3, 6. So the total number here, I have how many smile faces? 6, teacher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because what, teacher? Because I will skip counting by 3. So I will say 3, 6. Okay? Let's answer this exercise here, my students. I have here this array has how many columns? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 columns. Each column has 1, 2, 3, 4 apples. So my students, I'll skip counting by 4 3 times. So I will say 3, 4, 8, 12. 4, 8, 12. I'll skip counting by 4, 4, 8, 12. Okay, let's see another exercise. Here, my students, in this array, I have how many rows here? Let's count how many rows here. 1, 2, 3 rows. So here I have 3 rows. Each row has how many flowers? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll skip counting by 5. Let's skip count with me. 5, 10, 15. So the total number will be 15. Okay. Now let's practice find the total items of each array using skip counting strategy. Here, my students, I'll skip counting by what, teacher? Here I have 3, 6, 9, 12. Why, teacher? Because I'll skip counting by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. So I'll skip counting by 3, 6, 9, 12. The total number will be 12. Here, the total number here, let's count how many in the first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the first row, I have 5, so I will count by 5. 5, 10. So the total number will be 10. Another exercise. Here, my students, let's see. It's very easy to skip counting by what, teacher? By rows or columns? Columns, teacher, because in the first column I have 1, 2. So I skip counting by 2. Do you remember? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Again, my students, I'll skip counting by 2. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So the total number will be 14. Why, teacher? Because I'll skip counting by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. You have to keep it in your mind. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, another exercise. Here, my students, let's skip counting by 3. Teacher, why here? Here I have in the first column 1, 2, 3. So I'll skip counting by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Skip counting by 3. Why, teacher? Because in the first column I have 3 in each column. So skip counting by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Okay? So the total number will be 18. Now I want to repeated addition to make repeated addition sentence to find the total number of array. Okay, here, my students, look at me here. Who can tell me how many balls in the first row? How many balls in the first row? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here in the first row I have 4 balls. In the second, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4. In the third row, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my students, each row has 4 balls. If I wanted to find the total number, the total here, I will say 4 plus 4 plus 4. 4, 4 plus 4 plus 4. Here, 4 plus 4 equals 8. 8 plus 4 equals 12. So the total number here is 12. This is what, teacher? This is repeated addition. Repeated addition. Okay. Let's see some exercise. Here, my students, write the repeated addition and skip counting steps to find the total. I will find the total with 2 strategies. First strategy, I will make repeated addition. Second strategy, I will skip counting. Let's see together. Here, repeated addition. Let's see with me, my students, here in the first column. How many here? How many? 1, 1, 2, 3. So, my students, in each column, I have 3. So, I repeated addition. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay? 3 plus 3 equals 6. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 3 equals 12. Okay? This is repeated addition. If I wanted to find the total with skip counting, teacher, I'll skip counting by 3. Skip counting by 3. Do you remember? 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay? 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, another exercise. Here, my students, it's very easy to count with this row. How many cards in this row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 here. In the first row, I have 5. In the second row, I have 5. So my students, if I wanted to make repeated addition, I will say 5 plus 5 equals 10. If I wanted to make it by skip counting strategy, I will skip counting by 5. Skip counting by 5. Let's see. 5, 10. Okay? So the total number here is 10. With skip counting, and the total number with repeated addition is 10. They are equal, teacher. They are the same answer here. Okay? Let's see another exercise. Here, my students, if I wanted to make repeated addition in this exercise, I will say, teacher, 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal 3. If I wanted to make skip counting, let's skip counting by 1. 1, 2, 3. So the total number will be 3 here, my students. Okay? Another exercise. Here I will make repeated addition. Here, my students, in the first column, how many cards here? 1, 2, 3. So each column I have 3. In each column I have 3. So I will make repeated addition. 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 equal 6. Now if I want to skip counting, let's skip counting by 3. 3, 6. So the total number is 6, my students. Okay. Here, look at each array and complete. Here, my students, how many rows I have? Let's count together. 1, 2. So I have 2 equal rows. And in each row, how many in each row? In each row, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In each row, I have 5. So the total number will be what, teacher? Here I have 5 plus 5 equals 10. Okay? Let's see another one. Here, my students, how many equal rows here, my students? Let's see how many rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 equal rows. In each row, how many one in each row? In each row, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 in each row. So the total number will be how, my students? The total number will, I'll count by 3. Let's skip counting by 3 together. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Again, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So the total number will be 15. Okay. Another exercise here. How many columns, my students? How many equal columns here? 1 column, go up and down. 2 columns, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 equal columns. How many in each column? How many? Just one, teacher. Yes. So in all, how many is the total here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. Let's see another exercise. Here, how many equal columns? Let's count columns up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, teacher. I have 6 equal columns. How many in each column? In each column, how many? 1, 2, 3. In each column, I have 3, my students. So the total will be what? I'll skip counting by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Again, 3. Again, my students. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Okay? Thank you.